Ladies and gentlemen, it is the finale of Season 1 of the Realistic Career Mode series with Wolves here on FC26. My name is Junior and you are here on my channel, the Junior Parado channel. And wow, this is going to be a mega episode indeed. If you haven't been watching this series, go back, watch the previous episodes. If you have been keeping up to date, you'll know that we've taken over Wolves partly through the season. I wanted to take them on as a challenge. Obviously, they had a horrific start to the season. They've had a horrific season in general. I took over from them about, I'm not sure how many games we were in actually, maybe like 10 to 15 games, something like that. I took over to see if I could save Wolves' season, and it has been nervy. It's been tense. We've got 2 Premier League games left to go, but as you can see by the table, we have a 3-point gap, and this comes down to last episode where we faced Sunderland in a showdown, and we actually lost that game. We lost that game 3-1 at home. That put Sunderland above us. That dropped us into the relegation zone with 4 games to go. We then played Brighton, and we snatched a last-second draw to get a point that took us outside the relegation zone. Oh, sorry, no, that kept us in the relegation zone. And then we played Tottenham, where we came from behind with a Marshall Monetzi brace to send us out of the relegation zone with 2 games to go, and to relegate Fulham and Burnley with those results as well. The teams below us were actually picking up points. We were having a horrific run. I think we picked up 1 point in 21 available. We then picked up 4 in 2 games. So we have really turned it around when it mattered most. And now we've got 2 games left to wrap up the season. Fulham and Burnley, who are down and relegated, so hopefully they won't have too much to play for, but we have a 3-point gap. We just need, I think, a win and we'll be good, but we obviously have to see what Sunderland are doing. They are playing Everton in the next game, so very winnable for the Black Cats indeed. But if you are new to the channel, make sure to follow and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. If you are enjoying the content, give it a little like, a little thumbs up. We're also going to wrap up today the first season, and then look at what's next for next season, obviously whether in the Premier League or the Championship. If we go to the Championship, we might actually get sacked, so there might not be a season 2 with Wolves, but I hope there are, because I got plans. I got transfer targets, but I want you guys to obviously continue to comment your transfer targets, and we're going to vote for, I'm going to announce who won Player of the Season as well, Wolves Player of the Season. So it's going to be a fun-filled episode. Make sure you sit back, relax, tuck in, and let's get into the episode. So we return to Molineux, where we picked up a huge 3 points against Tottenham just a few days ago. And incredibly, that was only, I think, our 8th point picked up at home all season. Horrific home form, but when it mattered most, we got there. We make, I think, just the one change to the side that beat Tottenham. Krejci in for Agbadou. What I did what I have noticed as well is, obviously, so we started this career mode save before the January transfer window, and since then, a few key Wolves players from my save have moved on. So when we get to the summer transfer window, if bids come in for those certain players, I might accept them. I'm going to think about it, because Agbadou's one who's gone. John Arias, who's been a key player for us, I think he's actually got the most assists in the league this season. He's gone. Monetzi's been out on loan. Obviously, Jorgenstein Larsson has gone as well. So I definitely will consider bids for those players, just because they've gone in real life. So I want to keep it like semi-realistic. Obviously, I know it is my career mode save, but we'll see. Let's stay up first, shall we? Big game today against Fulham as we look to complete the league double over the Cottagers. They are relegated thanks to that result against Tottenham. Hey, we could secure survival today, depending on Sunderland's result, and they are playing Everton. That is a massive game as well. Everton just 1 position above us. Here's a Rook Adair, who's going to hit one. Side netting. CX going to look to cut inside. CX been incredibly poor for me in recent episodes. I know he's considering retirement. To be honest, if he was on just a 1-year contract, I wouldn't renew his contract. I think he's got another year though, so we'll have a decision to make if he doesn't want to retire. Probably wouldn't be against selling him and looking to move on. I wonder if there's anyone in this Fulham team that I would maybe like to pick up if we stay up. If you are, like, that's kind of like a tip I would give. If you are managing a team that's kind of like a low level a low-level side, look at the players from teams that have been relegated, because you should normally be able to get them from for a cut price deal. And Fulham, by far and away, have a lot of talent in this team. Same with Burnley as well. There are some players that I'm potentially going to target in the summer. As Ziyech stands over this free kick. What can you do for me, Hakim? Bit of magic, please. It's over the wall. Oh my god, what a save. But Menetzi's put it in. Fresh from his brace against Tottenham just a few days ago. That relegated Fulham. He's back to haunt the cottages again. I mean, this free kick was fantastic. The save was unbelievable. How it didn't go in, I do not know. But Marshall Menetzi was Johnny on the spot to tap in from 3 yards out for his 10th league goal of the season. We lead 1-0. Got dealt with by the Wolves defence. Something that we will absolutely need to improve in the summer is our defence. 89 league goals conceded is horrific. I wonder what the record is for most league goals conceded, because we've got to be up there with that total. So if this result stays the same and Sunderland fail to beat Everton, we will be safe and Sunderland will be down in what has been my tightest relegation battle on a career mode save to date. It's been so entertaining. It's been so genuinely nerve-wracking, especially that last episode. I've loved it. But I would love to stay up with this club and build off that success. You know, I wanted to bring Wolves. My long-term plan was to bring Wolves back into Europe. That's where I kind of learned to love this club. As Hakim Ziyech makes it 2-0 with his first goal in about 10 league games. He too gets his 10th league goal of the season, and that's been long overdue. Tolu with the assist, Hakim with the great finish actually, fired across Burnt Leno. Oh, it's not Leno. And we lead 2-0. Yeah, as I was saying, you know, Wolves of about 10 years ago had an unbelievable core. The likes of João Moutinho, Ruben Neves in midfield, Adama Traore, who's now at West Ham, but he might still be at Fulham in this save. Raul Jimenez, who's playing for Fulham in this game. He was in this Wolves team in their prime. And they were in Europe, and they were a great team to watch. And I want to bring those glory days back to Wolves. And even though it looked like relegation potentially was on the cards, if we can survive, we can build on this season. And I'm excited about what we can build as well. Ooh. Luke is driving forward here in what will be the last play of the half. Here's Muniz. It's a fantastic save by Jose Sarr. And the referee blows for half-time. And that's exactly why Jose Sarr is up for player of the season. But we can just do what we need to do. And at the moment, we're looking for back-to-back victories. And Tolu is going to make it 3-0. This guy's been fantastic since coming in for Jorgen Strand-Larsen. 8 league goals now. Menetzi with the drive forward once more. That's another assist for him. And it's a simple finish for Tolu. And we're going to win back-to-back home games after having just picked up 5 points from an available, I don't know, 42, 45? Ridiculous. Wolves 3-0. I said a couple of episodes ago when we looked at our remaining fixtures for the season that this was going to be the key one. But I'm so grateful that... As Muniz with the header, wow. It's not over yet. Rodrigo Muniz with a bullet header for Fulham. It's a great header. 3-1. Yeah, I was saying that I felt like this was going to be the key game, the decider. Because when we looked at our fixtures with 5 games, 3 of our final 5 were against the bottom 3, which is absolute cinema. And I thought this was going to be the key game. But fortunately, Fulham already down. I don't know what it is about Fulham, though. As Muniz almost bags his second header in 5 minutes. This game isn't done yet. Oh my god, how has that gone in? Muniz has his second header in 10 minutes and Fulham are within 1. The first header was impressive. This one is just stupid. He's lobbed Jose Sarr from the edge of the box for the header. We can't be on the beach yet, guys. We can't be planning our Premier League plans for next season. If we fail to win this game and Sunderland win, they're going to be a point behind us. And we absolutely cannot do that from being 3-0 down. Lukic is all Fulham right now, and he's picked out a nice pass. And it's just wide from Harrison Reed. Okay, triple substitution. We need to get going again, because Fulham have been, since we went 3-0 up, it's been all Fulham. Chukwueze, the substitute. Great interception. I've got to hold that up though. It's Smith Rowe. As there's a Wolves player down in the box, but Muniz scores his hat-trick. And Fulham have come from 3-0 down in this second half to tie us at 3 apiece. Right, we're going to take off Fer Lopez just to be safe. He was only on the pitch for about 10 minutes, but he had an injury, so we're going to take him off. We're also going to take off Bueno at left back for Wolf. Looks to get to the byline. Wolves in shock here. I mean, I cannot believe when we went 3-0 up, there is absolutely no way I would have thought this game would finish 3-3, and it still might not, as Larsson gets a strike blocked, and then I don't know what has just happened. Fulham almost walked the ball into their own net. Wolves have a corner. It's Larsson who, for some reason, is on the edge of the box rather than in the box. That's a great ball though, and it's 4-3. Ladislav Krejci gets his second league goal of the season. A rare start for him. And he might have just fired Wolves into Premier League safety. A bullet header. 4-3 with 5 minutes to go. I mean, this game just had absolutely no right to become a 7-goal thriller. There was no need for it. But once again, we said our defensive... We need to look at our defence in the summer. What is that? 92 goals we've conceded. That must be the Premier League record. We've been shipping goals. Thankfully, we've been able to score them. And we've still got 2 minutes added on here. Arias wins the header though. It's surely going to be 5. It is. We didn't make it easy. We never do we? But Wolves are surely staying in the Premier League. And a square pass for Wang Hee-chan, who gets his 5th league goal of the season. And it's going to finish here at Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers 5, Fulham 3. After just collecting 5 points from a possible 45 at home, we have back-to-back wins, which have pretty much secured our survival. It obviously depends now on Sunderland. They have to go to Everton and win. Anything less, and we are confirmed a Premier League team for next season. Okay, so the twists continue, and we are going to go to the final day. Sunderland win 3-2 at Everton. And so we are not safe. And considering we conceded 92 goals, our goal difference is worse than Sunderland's. And it is a three-team fight for a final day survival. It's in our hands for sure. We just need to avoid defeat against Burnley and we should be safe. But of course this was going to go down to the final day. Why wouldn't it? It's been the most dramatic save I've had so far. And we actually moved up to 16th now, but we are still not mathematically safe. Sunderland, Everton or Wolves, one of us will go down. So unfortunately, Fer Lopez broke his toe in that last game, so that's going to be the last we see of him this season. Lee Simmons is looking to cancel his contract. Leo Simmons and Thomas Granero. Simmons and Granero want to end their contract, right? Well, there's Granero, 81 to 87 potential, 68 overall. And Leo Simmons as well. Simmons looks like an absolute star, so I'm probably going to have to give them both pro contracts, get them into the first team, and then look to send them out on loan for next season. Oh, love this, finally. Okay, we've got a loan to buy offer from Cardiff. This is Mane is one of the 3 players we've got up for loan already that were at the club that I want to get out on loan for next season. So far, we have not had a realistic bid come in. So I'm going to look to see if we can just propose a loan without a buy to Cardiff. I actually quite like that. In League One right now, I'm not sure if they are still in League One. I'm not sure, sorry, if they're looking like they're going to come out of League One and get back into the Championship. We'll have to check. They want a 40-60 split. Let's do 50-50. Come on, let's be fair here. Lovely. Okay, Mateus Mane is going to go to Cardiff for the 2026-27 season. I think that's a good move for him. Hopefully he'll get some game time. So League One, Cardiff are second right now, 100 points. Wow, oh, they are promoted. The season's over. So Cardiff will be back in the Championship next season after just one season out of it. So Mateus Mane will be playing Championship football next season. I don't mind that at all. So this is it. Final game of season 1 with Wolves, and it all comes down to the final game of the season. I can't believe it has come down to this, because this has been such a dramatic, nervy, tense career mode at first season with Wolves. Even though we've won back-to-back games, we aren't mathematically safe. We play Burnley, Sunderland play Chelsea, and Everton play Tottenham. So we have the favourable fixture, and only one of the 3 teams are going to get relegated. We just have to avoid defeat, and we're going to be in the Premier League next season. That was our goal when we took over Wolves, and they were bottom of the league. And we are so close to achieving it now. This is going to be so tense, so nervy. I think the Premier League title still has to be decided as well. Yeah, Liverpool and Arsenal, the gap is 3 points. But you never know, Liverpool have been dropping points as well. So, the title and relegation all to play for. Let's go into the final game of the season. So for the final time this season, we take charge of Wolves. And our safety is in our hands, but it is not yet secured. We head to Turf Moor, facing an already relegated Burnley, knowing if we avoid defeat, we will be in the English top flight next season, and that was the goal. John Arias is going to finish as the most assists this season, the player with the most assists, should I say, 14. Hakim Ziyech is 1 away from second place as well, so I think that's less impressive, but more just a bit concerning that the totals aren't really that high. Like, realistically, a player battling relegation shouldn't be the top assister in the league. Okay, here's how the teams are going to be lined up for today's game. The Clarets rocking a 4-2-3-1 formation. Martin Dubravka in between the sticks. Roberts, Esteve, Delcroix and Hartman the back 4. Floriento and Josh Cullen holding. Marcus Edwards, Fruk, Anthony all supporting. As for us, just the one change for the sides that beat Fulham. Agbadou is back in for Krejci, who scored ultimately the winning goal in that game. Agbadou back at right centre-back. Aroukader continues to start ahead of Jürgen Strand-Larsen. And Gomez is in for Lopez on the bench, who is obviously out for 3 months. Avoid defeat, and we're in the Premier League next season. Up the Wolves. Here's Andre. Wolves looking for a fast start. An early goal would settle the nerves so much. On the flip side of that, if we concede early, oh my god, it's going to be nervy. Anthony down this left-hand side, looking to create something for the hosts. Yeah, that's well done. Do you know what? I've been quite happy with Chichoa since he's come in. Replaced Matt Doherty about halfway through our tenure here. Burnley looking dangerous here down this left-hand side. Ball's crossed in. It's headed just over the bar. Amdouni with a warning sign. Everton at 1-0 up at Tottenham. And it's Brennan Johnson at his former club. And as it stands, Everton are going to move above us. And it's going to still be Sunderland that are relegated. I just clocked as well, because Sunderland won at Everton, if we had actually bottled that victory against Fulham, we only would have been 1 point above the drop zone. Oh my god, this game would have been a lot more nervy. I mean, it still is nervy. But it would have been a lot worse as Fruk drives forward for the hosts. And it's great football from Burnley. Well read by Agbadou. Anthony looking to cut inside. It's 1-0 Burnley. I think that's Amdouni. It is. Zeki Amdouni with his 6th goal in just 9 games. What a return that is. The hosts lead. And I don't know what the Sunderland score is, but as it stands, we could be in the relegation zone. It's great football from Burnley. Zeki Amdouni, the Swiss attacker, with a great finish. I think he's been injured all season for Burnley in real life. He's been a real loss for them. The hosts lead, and I know Everton are winning. I don't know what the Sunderland score is. We could be in the drop zone. Oh my god, how are your nerves, Wolves fans? Winless in their last 5, but they're looking attacking. Looking like they want to bring us down with them to the Championship. But now, a chance for Wolves to break. It's Hakim Ziyech. Can he find Tolu Aroukader? It's Tolu. He's going to cut back and find Hakim Ziyech. It's Hakim Ziyech. It's 1-1. Come on, that's huge. Goals in back-to-back games for the Moroccan. We said we needed a big couple of games from him because he's been poor in recent episodes. But he brings us level just before half-time. That is so key. Great link-up play between him and Tolu. Clinical finish. And we're level here. Such a crucial time to score just before the break, bringing us level. It just changed the mood of the team completely. And the referee brings this first half to a close. Burnley looking dangerous on the break. They got the go-ahead goal from Zeki Amdouni. But Hakim Ziyech responds just 9 minutes later. It's 1-1. So at half-time, of course, it's all in the balance. Sunderland 1-1 against Chelsea. Everton 1-1 against Tottenham. So as it stands, Sunderland are going to be going down. But I'm sure it's going to change a lot more in these next 45 minutes. Chelsea have taken the lead against Sunderland. That is huge. That's massive. If Sunderland lose, then that's it. It doesn't matter what ours or Everton's results are. Sunderland will be relegated at the first time of asking, joining Burnley and Fulham. Munetzi inside. It's Gomez. That's poor. Tottenham have levelled against Everton as well, as Brighton come level against Man United. Not really the game we care about. It's João Gomez to the back stick. Tolo Rukade. He's headed wide. That could be big. That could be big. Final 20 minutes here. And you could cut the tension with a knife. Roberts gets away down this right-hand side. Not full of pace, but he's found quite a few yards of it. It's Burnley. What a save, Jose Sarr. That could have just kept us in the Premier League. We're into extra time now. 2 minutes added on. If we hold on, we are in the Premier League next season. But here come Burnley. It's Marcus Edwards. He's driving in on goal. He cuts it back. I don't know what Burnley are doing here. Ball into the box. And Burnley have won it. With the last kick of the season, Burnley have just won this game and potentially relegated us. We haven't had any updates from Sunderland. They were 2-1 down. Oh my goodness. Zeki Amdouni with a second of the game. Burnley are going down, but they're going down with a fight. And we're not going to have any chance of a reprieve here. It's going to be defeat on the final day. Defeat at Turf Moor. And now we wait. It is now out of our hands. Oh my god. This save has just been a joke. It finishes at Turf Moor. Burnley 2, Wolves 1. Oh my god. We survive. We just about survive. We lost with the final kick of the season to Burnley. But Everton lost and Sunderland drew. So if Sunderland had found a winner, Everton would have been relegated. Thankfully, we weren't in that mix. If that late winner now against Fulham was the key. Because if we had drawn that game 3-3, we would have been on 36 points and we would have been in the bottom. We would have been in bottom 3. That goal would have relegated us just then. Oh my goodness me. That win for Burnley puts them up into second. So Fulham finished bottom of the Premier League standings, 28 points. Burnley on 31. Sunderland on 36. Everton on 36. Wolves on 38. My God. What a dramatic ending to such a dramatic first season with Wolves. Look, I'm not rounding off the episode yet, but please, guys, subscribe if you're enjoying this. Absolute cinema. As we look into the top 10, Forest finished 10th, Tottenham 9th, Leeds 8th in their first season in the Premier League. That's incredible. Aston Villa 7th, Manchester City in 6th, Chelsea 5th, Man United 4th, Newcastle 3rd, Arsenal in 2nd, and Liverpool win the league with a 5-point gap. So Arne Slot collects back-to-back Premier League titles with the Reds. And make it a domestic double. Liverpool, who knocked us out of the FA Cup semi-finals. As you remember, we got to the FA Cup semi-finals. It was a great run for Wolves, but we were battered at Wembley. And Liverpool played mid-table championship team Coventry, and they beat them 3-1 in the final. In the Carabao Cup, Manchester City won the Manchester derby 4-3 on penalties after it finished 1-1. All star-studded semi-finals: Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. As for the European competitions, PSG win back-to-back Champions League titles. They beat Borussia Dortmund 4-3 on penalties after a 1-1 final. Dortmund had beaten Benfica in the semi-final. PSG had knocked out Liverpool. In the Europa League, RB Leipzig win an all-German final actually against Freiburg, winning 4-3. Celtic had reached the semi-finals, and Feyenoord, the team knocked out by Freiburg. And as for the Conference League, Strasbourg beating Fiorentina 1-0. Gary O'Neill's Strasbourg now, of course, with Liam Rosenior at Chelsea. In the semi-finals, Fiorentina had knocked out Trabzonspor, while Strasbourg had knocked out Sparta Praha. And then just a quick roundup of the other leagues as well. So in the Championship, Ipswich and Leicester will return to the Premier League at the first time of asking. They've both been promoted. Obviously, in real life, Leicester might get relegated, which is incredible to think. Hull, Preston, QPR and Southampton will compete in the playoffs. We'll find out at the start of next season who went up. There was Oxford, Sheffield Wednesday and Charlton, the three that got relegated from the English second division. In the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen won the league from Borussia Dortmund, and Bayern Munich finished third, just a 2-point gap between the top three. That probably went down to the final day. But Bayer Leverkusen win their second title in 3 years. Hamburger and St. Pauli were the teams relegated. Heidenheim will go into the relegation playoff. In Italy, Napoli came out on top, with Juventus second, AC Milan third, Atalanta fourth, Inter fifth. Cesc Fabregas's Como mid-table, which is, a good season in your first campaign in the top flight, although in real life, they're pushing for a Champions League spot, which is incredible. Genoa, Hellas, Verona and Sassuolo were the three teams relegated from Serie A. In La Liga, Barcelona claimed their latest crown, finishing 6 points above Real Madrid, which looks actually likely now to happen in real life, with Bilbao and Atletico Madrid completing the top four. Real Oviedo finish at the foot of the table in their first season in Spain's top flight. They get relegated. Seville finished second bottom. They are going down. What a fall off from them. They are in the relegation scrap in real life as well. Good little career mode save potentially with Seville if they go down into Spain's second division. Mallorca are the third team to join those two as well. In the Portuguese league, Sporting Lisbon claimed the title, with Porto finishing second, Benfica third, Braga fourth. In the French league, PSG complete a league and Champions League double. They finished 4 points above Marseille. Monaco and Lyon completing at the top four. Metz, Lorient, the two teams relegated, with Havre completing in the relegation playoffs. The Eredivisie was won by FC26. PSV finishing second, final third, Ajax fourth and AZ fifth. The Women's Super League was won by Arsenal, yet another title for the female Gunners. They finished on 54 points, 8 points ahead of Chelsea. Liverpool finished foot of the table and were relegated with just 16 points. And the Women's Champions League was won by Barcelona, beating Chelsea 2-0. Barcelona knocked out Paris FC in the semi-finals, whilst Chelsea won an all-English affair against Arsenal. As for the player stats, well, it was two Swedes that finished on top in the Premier League goal-scoring race for the Golden Boot. Alexander Isak bagging 24 in 34, whilst Victor Gyökeres was just one short, 23. Erling Haaland finished on 22. Anthony Gordon with 18. Chris Wood with another fantastic season. He was on 17, Ollie Watkins on 17 also. Jürgen Strand Larsen 16 and 27, probably the best ratio in the top 10. As for assists, well, John Arias did claim that crown, 14 and 35 for the Colombian. And Hakim Ziyech finished third, so two Wolves players in the top three for assists. That's pretty impressive. As for clean sheets, Alisson won the Golden Glove, 11 clean sheets in 37 games. He trumps Donnarumma and Petrovic. Wow, that's a surprise. They both had 10. Nick Pope and David Raya with 9. João Gomez finished the most booked player in the Premier League this season. He got 9 cautions. Mateta with 7. And then a whole host of players on 6. As for red cards, Chris Richards of Crystal Palace was the only player to get sent off twice this season. Totti, I think, was the only player to get sent off for us this season. Average ratings, Alexander Isak tops the standings. 34 appearances. He averaged a 7.81 rating. Randall Colomuani and Armand Loriente, that new signing, were the next two players. Jorgen Strand-Larsen, see, we said his ratio was good. A 7.06 average rating after 27 games. It's going to be hard to keep hold of him this summer. And if we just finally run you through the squad one final time for season 1, as there's going to be plenty of change this summer, that is for sure. Daniel Bentley had a good stint for us in the FA Cup, got us all the way to the FA Cup semi-finals. He's going to be joining Rangers when the summer window opens. Sam Johnston was our starting goalie, but he got injured and was out for the rest of the season. He was battling Jose Sarr, who is up for player of the season. We will announce that very shortly. Jose Sarr, I mean, only one clean sheet, but I thought he was brilliant, actually. I mean, he did concede 92 goals. Was it 92? 94? So maybe he wasn't that great. And we did sign Andrew, who is out on loan in Brazil, I think, at the moment, or maybe actually Argentina, excuse me. He potentially could be playing a key part in the future. Hugo Bueno was our starting left back this season, 23 years old, 4 clean sheets in 37 games. I thought he was fine. David Muller-Wolf provided backup, 16 appearances, 1 assist. Matt Doherty, 34 years old now. He's going to be going to Germany when the window opens. Santiago Buenos, someone we need to think about what we want to do with him. We only used him 10 times this season. Did score though. Ladislav Krejci on loan from Girona. Don't think we're going to make this permanent, but he scored the most important goal of the entire save. That winner against Fulham when it was 3-3, because if that hadn't gone in, we would have been relegated. So, Ladislav, fair play to you, mate. Yerson Mosquera only played 7 times down the pecking order in the centre-backs. Maybe we'll look to send him out. Emmanuel Agbadou, our highest rated centre-back, but had to earn that starting spot. He eventually did, but he has been sold in real life, so maybe we'll sell him in the game. Totti, the captain, I thought he was fantastic. Only 76 rated, but I thought he was brilliant in the back line and really led by example. Then we've got a number of players out on loan who are going to be returning at the start of next season. Jackson Chichoa came in and made that right back position his own ahead of Matt Doherty, and I thought he did okay. Again, I think we're going to have to look at our back line. I mean, the average rating must be about 75, and that's not really good enough, is it? Lembikisa is one of those youngsters who we're looking to send out on loan for next season. We gave him a new contract this year. Made his debut as well. Made 2 FA Cup appearances. Andre in the midfield was solid. 24-year-old, 44 appearances, 1 assist. Not great numbers, but I thought he was okay. João Gomez alongside him, 42 appearances, 4 goals, 6 assists, so much better from him. Although he was playing slightly higher than Andre, so, you know, I would expect more numbers from him. I do like João Gomez, though. Big fan of this player, and hopefully he can push on next season. Tawanda Chirera was another player that we gave a new contract to. He is going to be heading out on loan to Hull when the window opens. Marshall Manetzi, I mean, could be our player of the season. 14 goals, 11 assists in all competitions from midfield, 10 Premier League goals. He was phenomenal, scored that brace against Tottenham, had a goal in the Fulham game as well. Love this guy. John Rickner Bellegarde, 34 appearances, mainly off the bench. Got most of his starts in the FA Cup. I didn't really see much from him, I'll be honest. At 27 years old as well, 75 rated, he could be someone that we look to send out. Hakim Ziyech, the one signing we made this season, and look, he was a star for us. He kind of fell off towards the end. Scored in back-to-back games though, against Burnley and Fulham, but it got a bit frustrating towards the end. Double figures in goals and assists though. He really had the impact that we were hoping for. We didn't want to make too many changes in the first season. We just brought in the one player and he was fantastic. I thought he was did exactly what I wanted him to do. Fer Lopez broke his toe in the penultimate game of the season, so he is going to be out till I think the start of the season. 17 appearances, 1 goal, that great goal away at Blackpool that won us the game in the FA Cup. 5 assists as well. I thought he was decent. I think I can see a future with him with this club for sure. 22 years old, plenty of raw talent there. John Arias, most assists in the Premier League. Look, Wolves have sold him in real life, and look, maybe he's a talent that I will have to look to sell if offers come in for him, if we want to keep it realistic. But 6 goals and 16 assists, and that's 14 Premier League assists. He was brilliant, the Colombian winger. Rodrigo Gomez, didn't really see too much from him. 10 appearances in all competitions, 1 goal. Him and Fer Lopez were kind of on par at the start when I took over. I don't really see room where both of them can grow with us because we need to be able to bring in players that are ready to fit in the squad now. So he could be one that maybe we look to send out on loan, actually. He is still only 22. Get him some game time and potentially come back to the club stronger. Wang Hee-chan, the South Korean, 37 games, 8 goals, 8 assists to be fair to him, not too bad. Did most of his damage in the FA Cup, including a hat-trick. I thought he had good stints for sure, but kind of lost that winger position when Arias stepped up his game. Jorgen Strand Larsen, he's going to be a player that we're going to struggle to keep hold of in the summer. Obviously moved to Crystal Palace in real life. The Norwegian has 16 goals in 27 games. That ratio is incredible. If he was fit all season, I think he could have potentially been up there with Golden Boot contention. And finally, Tolu Arukade came in for Jorgen Strand Larsen. When Larsen went down, I was worried. I was very worried, but Tolu came in and was brilliant. 8 goals and 7 assists in 27 games. He was a real presence up top. He's 80 rated. And he's fantastic. So if we do sell Jorgen Strand Larsen, I'll be happy to have Tolu as our main striker. This is how our academy is going to look after season 1. Some real talent in there for sure. I think we've got some proper ballers in here that I think in a couple years' time are going to be unbelievable. Wow, so the transfer business has started already in the manager market, which is obviously a new feature this year. And Marco Silva, who was in charge with Fulham, was relegated with Fulham, has left to join Sunderland, who were also relegated. So he is going to be managing in the Championship next season, but with a new team. He is going to be in charge of Sunderland. Interesting. Okay, so there we have it. Season 1 done with Wolves. It came down to the final game of the season. It came down to potentially the final kick. We conceded to Burnley with the last kick of the season, but thankfully Sunderland were unable to beat Chelsea, and we stayed in the Premier League. A 16th place finish. And the board are delighted with my performance. Hey, look, I was a little bit worried. I think if I'd been relegated, I probably would have been sacked. But we stayed up, and now it allows us to build with Wolves next season and push for Europe in the next couple of years, which is where I want this club to be again. So I'm glad to see that the board are happy with how we did, which I think we did well. Took over and we were bottom, and we've survived. So look, that's going to be it for today's episode and for season 1. You're going to see us in episode 12 taken over in season 2, where the transfer market's going to open up. We're going to get played. We're going to be having incomings, outgoings. It's going to be a very busy episode indeed. But make sure to like the video if you enjoyed the series. I mean, look, I think that ending deserves a like, doesn't it? Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.